Hey everybody, Johnny Coes back here with part 2 of my language AI teacher. So the last video left off with some problems. Problems where I deleted a couple characters out of my API key. So everything that I did last time works. So just to give a recap, what we have here is we talk into our microphone. We send what we say to ChatGPT. ChatGPT makes a response. We feed that response to IBM. IBM's text-to-speech module speaks it back to us. So let's check it out where we're at right now. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
And then we can go from there. We can press enter again to record and continue to have a conversation. So let's go. Bien, gracias. ¿Cómo se llama?
Me llamo asistente de OpenAI. ¿Y tú, cómo te llamas?
Okay, so when you get into these conversations, it can start spitting back, words you don't know. So now that we can have this conversation with it, the last little bit I want to add to this is a translator, so we can take these responses back from ChatGPT and translate them. You could also get it with the chat API call, but we're going to use IBM's translator module on this as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. So just a quick review of the code though. When we start the app, we get this while true. Once the user presses enter, we go to this get audio data function, which listens to our microphone, uses speech recognition from Google to take our speech to text. And for this one, we're doing Spanish because it's gonna help me learn some Spanish. And we return what the user said. After we get what the user says, we append it to our message list. And remember, we have a system role that it's a Spanish teacher in our message list right now. So we just append our role as the user and what we set into it. And then we pass it to the get chat response function. Print out getting chat response so we know where it is in the while loop. We're using the GP3.5 turbo, which we can change to the 1106. Anyways, it's a little bit cheaper, a little bit quicker. But we passed in that list of messages, a max of 256 tokens. If you plan on having a longer conversation with this AI, you might want to bump it up to like 1024 or 1000. A little temperature of 0.9, get some variance in the response. Then we return the response. Once we save it as this chat response content variable, we append that to the message as well, so we can pass that back as context later in the conversation. We print the chat response, and then we go to the text-to-speech function, which we can go in here. We print out that it's getting a text-to-speech response so that we know where it is in the while loop. We establish our headers. The content type is JSON. We accept an audio WAV file. The URL, the text-to-speech post URL, we're using version 1 synthesized voice, and we're going to use Laura. Yeah, Laura. They have a lot of voices you can use. Anyways, then we post using the request method, or the request module, Python request module. We post. We take the text-to-speech URL, we add this URL to it. We send our API key. Remember, make sure you have your full API key, because that's where mine went wrong. I accidentally deleted it while I was messing around with it. We pass our headers, and we dump our chat response content into JSON format so it knows what it's going on. We get the response back from IBM. We save it to this audio data file. We create an audio segment. from PyDub. Then we use PyDub to play the audio segment, and that's what you heard earlier. And we return this audio data, which is this text-to-speech response. So now what we want to do, or what I like to do, so I can follow along on the conversation too, because it spits out a lot of words once you get going that you may or may not know. I like to get the English translation. So let's do an English translation variable and set it to just do English translation function, and we'll pass in the chat response content as well. So let's go up here and write this function. So we'll define the English translation, and we will pass in the chat response content. Okay, so after that, we hit enter. And like I like to do, I like to print off where we are in the while loop so we can watch it. We need to establish our headers, which is the content type of JSON. We need our authenticator. So we use the IAM authenticator, and we pass in our IBM Translate API key. Different API keys for each of these modules that you sign up for when you create your IBM account. So we'll get a language translator, which we imported earlier, and we'll be using version from 2018-05-01. Probably should see if I don't think there's anything updated. I think I got that straight from the website. Then we need to pass in the authenticator, which equals the authenticator. So we take this language translator object, and we gotta set the service URL, which we have saved in our environment variables. So we get the language translator, we set the service URL. So then let's get the translation now. We use the same language translator object, and we translate, right? The text that we're sending is going to be the chat response content that we take at the key of text. The model ID is going to be Spanish, or Spanish to English, so ES-EN. And we want to get the result get underscore result, and we want to print this out. So we're going to take this JSON response, or we're going to take the response, the translation response, and dump it all in one thing. So we're going to take the translation, and you can dig down into the JSON. Actually, I guess I don't need dump it. I could have just done dot notation instead of turning it into a Python dictionary and doing it this way, but that's what I chose to do. So we'll indent it 2 spaces so it's pretty, and ensure it doesn't have to be ASCII characters. Oh my gosh. Let's give that a save, let it auto format. And now we should get the translated response back. Oh. Headers equals headers. Let's see if I actually need that. So I'm going to put it in the terminal so that it's nice and bigger to see instead of the VS Code terminal. So, hola, ¿cómo estás? So now it's getting the chat response. And I was testing this a little bit before, and the responses were a little bit slow this evening. So let's hopefully get a response. All right, we'll just interrupt this in a second. Yeah, the API has been down a little bit. Let's run it again. Hola. Well, they didn't hear me. There we go. Hola, ¿cómo estás? There we go. It heard me this time. There we go.
Hola, estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú cómo estás?
All right, so we didn't need the headers. So we didn't need this line at all. We don't need these headers. And we don't need to pass in headers on this. So let's save that. Try it again. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Man, this API being down the past couple days has been really rough. And it's Friday, the day Sam Altman got fired, so I wonder if it has anything to do with this. Probably not. Hola. Let's just pass in hola, see if that's faster. Now all we're okay, there it goes.
Hola, bienvenido. Estoy aquí para ayudarte a aprender español. ¿Estás listo para comenzar?
Yeah, see, so I don't know a lot of those words, so now we're translating into English, and we are not getting the right response. Oh, did I forget to return it? I sure did. Oh, and it's translations, not translation. So the first key is multiple translations. We're going to get the first array out of it. You know what? Let's just take this. Just override it. Oh boy. Switching from a Windows to a Macintosh back and forth really gets you mixed up with the now we can just take this out and do translation, and we can just return the translation, so I don't have that. So now hola, ¿cómo estás? All right, let's see how long this chat response takes. Oh, my allergies. There we go.
Hola, estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú cómo te encuentras?
See, and now we have the English translation, so I can be like, all right, I know, hola, estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú cómo te encuentras? I don't know what that means, so I guess that's a better way of asking, how are you? How do you find yourself? ¿Cómo te encuentras? Let's just go, estoy bien, gracias. Yo quiero comer. Or I guess I could have said yo tengo hambre. I'm hungry. Or I want to eat. Or I could have said both. Estoy bien, gracias. Yo tengo hambre. Quiero comer. Let's see how long this chat. There we go.
Genial. ¿Qué te gustaría comer? En español, para expresar lo que quieres comer, puedes decir quiero comer, seguido del nombre del alimento o platillo en particular.
Alright, well. It was working, so our English translation is not working. Got a type error, string object is not callable. I don't know if that has anything to do. Well, no, it worked the first time. This shouldn't matter. Again, this shouldn't matter at all. Let's try it. Hola, yo tengo hambre, yo quiero comer. I'm hungry for a person. I think I said that right. I always get hambre and hombre mixed up. I guess chat will. Thankfully chat's a teacher. Hopefully they'll correct me. Man. If this was Russian, I might be a little bit more better on my pronunciation. But anyways, I'm gonna keep working on this. Oh, let's listen to it.
Hola, bienvenido. Para decir tengo hambre en español, puedes decir tengo hambre. Y para decir quiero comer, es quiero comer. ¿Hay algún tipo de comida específica que te gustaría comer o alguna pregunta que tengas sobre el idioma español? Estoy aquí para ayudarte.
To say I'm hungry in Spanish, you can say I'm hungry, which tengo hambre. Okay, cool. I got that right. And say I want to eat, it's yo quiero comer. Yeah, I did that. Are there any specific types of food you would like to eat or any questions you have about the Spanish language? I'm here to help. Let's see what it does this. ¿Cómo se dice I want chocolate in español?
Claro.
Bueno.
Por favor, dime lo que te gustaría saber cómo se dice en español y estaré encantado de ayudarte.
Of course, please don't. Yeah, if my microphone. But anyways, ¿Cómo se dice I want chocolate in español? ¿Cómo se dice among Charlie? Man, this isn't demoing like I'd want it to. But let's see how we say among Charlie. Little nice refresher that I need to work on my enunciation. Anyways, I think AI is great for educational benefits. I'm gonna keep working on this, making it better. I have the repo link down in the description below. Feel free to add on to it, fork it, make issues, work on it, whatever. And if you're working on any educational platforms utilizing AI, let me know. I'd love to see them. Doesn't look like we're gonna be able to see how to say among Charlie in Espanol. ¿Cómo se dice I want chocolate in Espanol?
Se dice quiero jugar en español.
Okay, quiero jugar. All right. I want chocolate.
Quiero jugar.
I want chocolate. All right. Oh, man. Thanks for watching.